be more than human. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is J.R. Carroll. I am the author of the More Than Human novels, and today we are doing the mid-year freakout tag.
I'm freaking out, man. You are freaking out, man.
This is a tag that I believe this is my third time actually doing it. It kind of just gauges you, gives you an idea of what we're reading, what we're getting into, what we're trying, if our tastes are changing up, and kind of gives us a barometer of how the year's going. So we're gonna kind of jump right in here. There's probably going to be multiple answers that are going to be the same book on this one, just because some books really stand out this year. So let's go into the best book you've read so far this year, and that is going to be It from Stephen King. This book is the biggest book I've ever read, and it is one of the best books I've ever read. A lot of times when I tell you the 700 rule, once they get over 700, they get a lot fluffy. But this is almost like a trilogy in one book. You could stop several places and be okay and come back to it later. It is just, no wonder they made a mini series out of it instead of just one movie and then two movies on the next one. Just a great book overall. Not going to be the last time you see this book. The best sequel I've read so far this year is going to be Trials of Empire, the final book in the Empire of the Wolf trilogy by Richard Swan. He is going to be your new guy if you're into grimdark, if you're into Joe Abercrombie. Really need to check out Richard Swan. I can't wait to see what he does next. I don't know if he's staying in the same world or if he's going to just come up with a whole new thing, but yeah. Definitely check out Empire of the Wolf. New release you haven't read yet, though, but you want to, is going to be The Book That Broke the World. The book that wouldn't burn last year was one of my more disappointing books, but it wasn't that it was bad. It was that I had such high hopes for Mark Lawrence because he's considered one of the best fantasy writers in the world. And it was just kind of a so-so book for me. But I am going to read the second book, and hopefully it's happened before where the second book just took it up a notch. So really hoping that that's going to be the case for this next book. And then we have the most anticipated release of the second half of the year, and I'm blanking on the actual name of the book, but it is Will White's next book that's coming out in the Last Horizon series. It's The Night, maybe. It might be called. He kind of snuck that one up on me, so I'm like, so that's coming out like next week. So I have to jump on that because I read everything, Will White and stuff. So let's, can't wait to jump into that, and I'll, try to get you guys the review the same day it comes out, hopefully. Non-spoiler, of course. And then biggest disappointment of the year, that is, oh man. That's hard to say. As far as disappointing books, haven't had too many. I will say the worst book, I don't know, I forget the question, so there may be a worst book in here, but disappointing is Iron Widow, one of the worst books I've ever read for such a hyped book, and other people really, I guess it is a 50-50, it is a controversial book, but one of the worst books. Technically, she's a good writer, but everything inside the book was horrible. Biggest surprise, A Fate Inked in Blood. Can't tell you guys enough. This is considered a romantasy book, and I've been trying to read more romantasy to kind of see what the appeal is. Some of them are really duds to me, but this one, even hardcore epic fantasy fans will like A Fate Inked in Blood. So check it out if you haven't. This could be your entryway into romantasy, even though I think it's more fantasy than romantasy. Then we can go favorite new author. Not necessarily new, but I've been ramping up my reading of Kevin Hearn. I will be next Sunday. I will be interviewing him live. Please stop by, ask him all the questions. He's a New York Times bestseller, so any insights to writing or to the Iron Druid or his other 20 books that he's read. He's even wrote for Star Wars. So if you're a Star Wars fan, come check it out. So yeah, Kevin Hearn is climbing the top of the list here. Fictional crush, don't have one. We'll just pass over that one. New favorite character. I love Leif from the Iron Druid is getting better. Of course, Oberon, his animal companion, the Irish Wolfhound, is hilarious. He talks, if you didn't know. So those are probably my two favorite new characters coming up. And then book that made you cry. I told you it wasn't going to be the last time it was on the list, but I didn't cry because I don't think I've ever had a book make me cry. But me, Sarah, and Bryce all did a live discussion about it, and literally 50 minutes out of the hour and 3 minutes that we did was basically divulging into these characters' childhood trauma, growing up, and that there's a lot of hard stuff to deal with, and a lot of stuff that I've dealt with myself was in this book. So it was hard at times to read the book. So books that made you happy. There's a lot of books that were made me happy this year. Like the Empire of the Damned was pretty fun. Some of the parts, I mean, it's a darker book, but there were some really cool parts that were kind of like, oh man, that is pretty sweet. But then also I guess the happiest book that moment that I had was in Leigh Bardugo's The Familiar. The ending to that book, there's two shocks, two twists back to back at the end of that book, and one's like, oh, and then the next one's like, yeah. So probably Leigh Bardugo's The Familiar for that. Most beautiful book that you've bought so far this year or received. I have a copy of Micro from Michael Crichton. Pretty cool cover, but again, I mean, I don't know why. It's kind of simple, but it just works. The white, the red, I think it's like a perfect cover. Maybe not the best cover ever, but like I wouldn't change anything about this cover. This is probably the best cover for it, in my opinion. And then what book do you need to read by the end of the year? Will White's new book. I'm pretty sure that Craig Allenson is going to have another book in the Expeditionary Force. He hasn't announced it yet, but again, he's a self-published guy, so he kind of pops it off like a month before it comes out, and normally it's towards the end of the year, like a November, December release, so that is probably going to be where it's at. And then that's all the questions we have for the mid-year freakout tag. Let me know, what are you reading? What are you freaking out about? What books can you not wait to hit shelves? And more importantly, be more than human.